Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan. Blake Sloan, one of the top real estate agents not only on the Grand Strand, but in the world. He's been featured in Forbes magazine, the Wall Street Journal, NBC, and many other publications. And now, the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan. That's exactly right. It is time for the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan. We'll be talking to Blake coming up in just a second. In the meantime, let me go ahead and get you some contact information. Over the next 30 minutes, you're going to hear so much great stuff. If you want to get more information about it, fine, easy. Call Blake at his office at Sloan Realty Group. That's 843-808-SOLD, 843-808-SOLD, or go online to blakesloan.com, blakesloan.com. Again, we'll repeat that information a lot over the next 30 minutes. In the meantime, let's bring it in and get the show started.
Good morning, everyone. Got an awesome show. I'm back in town, back from being at a conference. I was telling Dave about some of the top investors in the country there, and we'll share some of the great nuggets and things we got from that, kind of what's happening with the market across the country. But really, it's a big group of investors. It's called the Collective Genius, and it's just a group of, you have to hit a minimum standard to get in, and it's high-level stuff. So we'll talk about some of the things that I learned and really kind of go over what the marketplace is doing as a whole, dig in and cover the micro market. And so that's something we didn't have done yet this month. And so we'll look at overall macro market, and we'll dig in what's your zip code doing, right? What's your neighborhood doing? So that's the one I get the most feedback about, most questions about. We'll talk about that as well. And one thing too we'll talk about is what people are seeing in other markets across the country. And so we'll dig in that part, and also some amazing success stories that we have and we're super proud about. And we'll also get to 4 regions that you should sell your house this fall.
All right. Well, there's a lot of things to get to, and we've got a ways to get to it. So let's go ahead and get to it right now. Here's the thing. If you're just tuning in for the very first time, you don't know who this guy is. Who am I listening to? Blake Sloan. Well, who is Blake Sloan? Well, he's been called the real estate whiz kid. He's been featured in Forbes magazine. He's been featured in Wall Street Journal, Realtor magazine, other national publications. You've seen him on TV with Fox and Friends in the morning show, also with NBC. Also, you heard the various endorsements here on this radio station from Sean Hannity, from Glenn Beck, from Gary LaRocque, Barbara Coltrane, and others. Put them all together, it is unprecedented as far as the world of real estate is concerned, especially in our little market here. Now, the thing is that every week Blake tells you a little bit more about some of the trademark systems that he's developed for both buyers and sellers. He's not going to give you all the information because he'd just be giving it away. But if you want all that information, you can get in touch with Blake and get on his team right now. Or if you just want to get the most important bit of information, Blake, well, I think you're willing to give that up right now.
Yes, and again, this is like the calling behind why we do this show, kind of the calling behind my purpose, I feel, and what we've done for real estate, right? Because we looked at what people did outside of real estate and brought those systems and processes into real estate, and really kind of, grew up in the business, whole family saw real estate, mom, dad, aunt, uncle, grandpa, grandma, everybody. And so ultimately, realize there's some huge challenges, and it really comes down to the single most important variable that determines your failure or success as a home seller. It comes down to one thing only. That thing is the agent you choose, period. And people don't realize that, right? They make that mistake of thinking that everyone's all the same, realtors all the same, they're a commodity, which could not be further from the truth. And we always kind of say that, that overall kind of saying that, look, if you're charged with a crime you did not commit, you don't want just any old lawyer, right? You want the absolute best. And so you want to do that when you're dealing with your largest asset. And so part of this, why does that happen, right? Well, there's 118 different variables from A to Z when you're selling your house. And so what that means is if each one of those is handled correctly, guess what that does? That puts money in your pocket, property gets sold. Anything's handled incorrectly, aka they drop the ball. Meaning that could be anything from a buyer doesn't get the phone answer when they call and they inquire in. A lead they submit online doesn't get called back within a certain amount of minutes. All these things can happen, not priced right, right? Not marketed right. Photos aren't great. Like a perfect example, we looked at one yesterday. We just took over. The first 9 pictures were of the outside, the side of the house, right? How many buyers online are going to look through 9 pictures before they see what the inside looks like? Very few, right? And so those are small mistakes that most people don't realize. And so the reality is you have one single agent trying to juggle all those 118 different variables, and usually they end up dropping one or more. And so what makes us different, what we did is, first of all, we identified every single one of those, right? And we create a system that's proven and repeatable to create maximum leverage every single point. So what we do is, in essence, we stack the dominoes. So at the end, there's a massive gap between us and everyone else, right? We always kind of use that other analogy is that, look, we create small gaps over a long period of time to create a massive difference and a huge competitive advantage for our clients. And so it's called the guaranteed sold system, the only proven system to sell them twice as fast and for up to 20% more money than traditional methods. And we always talk about the same thing. It's a marathon. And so you notice when if you watch a marathon, if you ran in one, everyone takes off at the same time. with a shotgun start. But what happens is they all spread out, and some finish 2 and 3+ hours ahead of other ones. The same thing we do with the home sale, right? Small increments over a long period of time is what gives you a huge competitive advantage. That's what ranks us the top 1/10 of 1% in the world, because we have systems that are proven repeatable with technology, with administrative staff, with sales staff, that are stacked the right things in the right order to be able to get maximum result for our client, right? And so on the flip side of that, there's also, guess what, 100+ variables for the buyers out there. They're usually different variables because you're on the opposite side of the transaction. So we create the same type system there. It's called the Unfair Advantage Home Buying System. Gives you priority access to foreclosure, distress sales, desperate sellers, the absolute best negotiation when you're AKA purchase price, and also through home inspection and closing. And so I really want to share that because people make this mistake over and over again. We hear horror stories all the time about how people had their house on the market for 6 months, a year, 2 years, multiple agents that did not sell. They rode that emotional roller coaster. Don't do that. Just reach out to us, call us. Once you see the system, it'll absolutely blow you away. Any agent that sees it absolutely blows them away. And to learn more, just give us a call at 843-808-SOLD.
That's the easy thing to do. So go ahead and go ahead and make that call. Call in right now. If you need more convincing, that's fine, because coming up in just a second, we got some great information for you as far as what mortgage rates are looking back. Also, we'll look at what's happening as far as the market is concerned. But over the next several minutes, if you're not convinced yet, Blake Sloan is the person you need to call. You will be calling. Go ahead. The phone number is 843-808-SOLD. 843-808-SOLD is the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan.
Hey, if you were in the market to make the most money for your home, Sean Hannity here with some important advice. Now, look, I'm an active investor. I have bought and sold a lot of properties in hot, cold, moderate markets. And one of the lessons I have learned is this. Hire the agent that knows how to create the most demand for your home. Now, if I needed to create demand in this market, no question, there's only one real estate agent I trust if I needed to sell my home. I'm talking about Blake Sloan of Sloan Realty Group. Now, he services the entire Myrtle Beach area, attracts hundreds of buyers every week, and sells a home on average every 24 hours. Now, that helps you generate multiple offers and sell your home for the most money possible. Plus, it's like getting an immediate offer on your home, because if your home doesn't sell for the price and the deadline you agree to, you will have it bought for cash, and he offers flexible fees. Find out how much demand your home can command right now. Call the agent that creates the most demand. Call Blake Sloan today at 808-SOLD. That's 808-SOLD. Or online at blakesloan.com. That's blakesloan.com.
Hi, I'm Barbara Corcoran. To sell your home on time for the most money, you need a sharp agent with a marketing strategy that creates the most demand. Bottom line, you need a partner willing to put their own money on the line for you. In Myrtle Beach, I would hire Blake Sloan. His international marketing creates so much demand that if your home doesn't sell at a price and deadline you agreed to, Blake will buy it. Partner with an agent I trust. Go online or call and get your home sold.
Coming up in just a second, some of the most important numbers you're going to be hearing all weekend long. That's what the mortgage rates are looking like. And they've been pretty good numbers recently. We'll find out what that looks like next. First of all, what is the market looking like as far as our area goes?
Yeah, so quick recap for anyone that missed last week's show. We'll dig in really quick to give you the overall big picture, right? The macro market. And that's kind of what's the entire Grand Strand doing. Everyone wants to know what's my house worth, what's happening, and what's happening going forward, right? So we'll dig in really quick. So right now, if you look at the overall single family marketplace, which is what most everything is, right? If you look at the comparison, sales were down 2%. So pretty much the same. To give you an example, there were 558 home sales last August. There were 547 this August. And so very similar. The one interesting number we'll see kind of across the board is price, though. Price is up pretty much across the board, which is, a good thing. So right now, prices are up 6.8% for the median price. They were, for example, last August, they were 220,000. Right now, it's 235. And so great news for anyone out there. Add an extra 6.8% on equity for you, which is great news overall as well. The one thing, too, that we're seeing is kind of a big the most important number I feel right now is inventory. Inventory is at 5.2 months, down 1.9%. And again, it's only been this low pretty much 2 times it's been tracked since 2016. So that's a key number. That's why you're seeing sales down a little bit and price up, right? Because there's just less demand. Same demand, less supply. And so that's the key thing there, is that's why you're seeing prices go up. And so if you're a home sale out there, it's a great opportunity going into this fall market, because again, the lowest it's ever been. There was 4.9 months of inventory on the market in January of 2018, And then in December, there's 5.1 months of inventory. Right now, we're at 5.2. And so very, very low. And just kind of recap for anyone that hasn't listened to the show a lot, what that means is it's a hypothetical kind of equation. But basically, if there wasn't another house listed, it would take 5.2 months to sell through all those. So it kind of gives you like, what's the one run rate right now? And so we're able to have keep track of how many homes in the market, what's happening to them. And so anything below 6 months is a seller's market. And so obviously it's great news for us here, great news for a home seller, because that means there's going to be price appreciation driving that up. And so that's great news here overall. Quick for condos, resale condos, interesting number here. Sales actually up 4.8%, which is great. 566 condo sales last month. And the price, 11.6% increase in price. Great news there overall. Median price for condos, 145,000. And so that's something that's great there as well. Inventory is still pretty flat, but here's a key point: 4.9 months inventory, very low. And so that's why you're seeing double-digit price increase with only a 4% increase in sales. And so what's that mean? Very good news. I think some of that has been spiked by the overall interest rates being low, which we'll talk about here in a second. But the bottom line is things are good. I'm going to dig in really quick and fly through what's your neighborhood doing. This is what I get the most feedback on, right?
Everyone wants to know what's happening in their own backyard.
Yes, right. Obviously, you can't blame them. Know what's up with my house. And so the key numbers in the main zip codes are really Myrtle Beach, right? Because they have so much more, just transactions, a lot of them. But look at 29577, 29572, which is considered Myrtle Beach.
Right.
Sales, this is an interesting number here. Last month, closed sales dropped 18.7%. But here's the key number. Median price up 7.1%. So last month, median price in Myrtle Beach, $342,775. So great news there. If you look at the year to date, sales are actually up 12.3%, and price is pretty much flat, up 0.8% at 317,535. Condos actually increased last month 6.2%. Price is up last month 11.6%, up to 140. And the same time last year it was 125.5. And so you can see that that's a lot of extra equity that condo owners are having, which is great news there overall. Year to date, prices in Myrtle Beach, the city area, up 5.2%. So great news here. Myrtle Beach, last month single family home sales 12.1% decrease in sales, but the good news is prices up 14.5% at 355,000 even. So median price Myrtle Beach up 355. So it was up from 310. I remember that used to be back in the twos, right? So great news there overall for everyone in 29582 zip code. Year to date, prices up 13.8%. And sales are down 7.1%. Some of these just has to do with inventory, the challenge of properties, especially in like the 150s and 200s.
Right.
That's why you're seeing some stuff less, but you're also seeing price go up, which is still kind of healthy there as well. We'll probably see that level out over the next few months, but we'll talk about that as well. Condos in Myrtle Beach down 5.2% last month, but prices up 8.5%. 212,700, and year-to-date prices for condos in Myrtle Beach up 4.9%, which is awesome. In the Surfside, where I grew up, my mom lives here. The closed sales almost identical. It's crazy. There was 45 sales in August of last year, 47 in August of this year, so a 4.4% increase there. The median sales price up 0.7%, right at 229,500. And year-to-date prices up 4.3%. So Surfside is holding steady, but not seeing the same gains that Myrtle Beach does. Part of that has to do with what's expanding, what's being built. And again, that's a 29575 zip code. Into Socastee sales almost identical as well. 93 sales last year, 91 sales this year. So you can see kind of the patterns, and we're very cyclical in regards to what we do. 215,000 is the median price, only up 0.9%. So almost a 1% increase in price. And so you can see how it matters in what zip code you're in based on what's going on. Year to date, though, Socastee prices at 8.3%. I look at two different things, right? What's the monthly? What's year to date? Because I want to see kind of what's the trend is. Is it softening, right? Is it going up? And so that helps me really kind of advise our clients based on what they do. We take this same data and we dig it and basically break it into pieces using our software, and we look at your neighborhood. What's the run rate? What's the percentage? What's the monthly trends doing? So I can help forecast our strategy in how we help you get the most amount of money, right? Can we be more aggressive? Do we not be as aggressive based on the trends? And so that's something that we can easily do for you. If you want to know more about your neighborhood, we can do that free, no cost, no hassle. Even if you're not looking to sell right now. Why? Because I've been here, I'm playing the long game, right? I know eventually if we give you what you want right now, which is why we serve everyone in the show, that you will call down the road whenever something else happens. So into Conway, interesting, 14.4% decrease in prices. I'm sorry, in sales last month, but an 8.2% increase in price last month. Median price in Conway 189,400. Year to date though, prices up 6.3%, 180,500, and that's good. Inventory is down in Conway, so they're getting 98.1% of asking price in most cases, and so Conway, we sold a lot in Conway lately too, which is great. Into Little River, Little River saw a decrease in sales pretty significant. It went from 76 down to 55, and so it's a 27% decrease. Obviously, there's not big numbers, so the percentages kind of can get skewed sometimes, or at least seem much bigger. Median price, though, the great news, up 13.6% last month alone, went from 226 to 257, 839, which is awesome. Year to date, Little River is up 14% in prices, and so Little River is seeing a lot of great traffic. We've seen a lot of we sold a lot of things up there as well. Sales down 3.3% for the year. Into Aner, closed sales down from 8 down to 3, so not a massive amount of sales out there, but the ones that have 18.4% increase in prices just last month. So went from 214 up to 254, and so man, Aner, that's probably the highest I've seen it almost ever, right? 254,000 median sale price in Aner, man, that's awesome because you're seeing what everyone else move further out as inventory tightens up. I mean, it's kind of the same thing. I say, growing up here my whole life, you see people push out further more inland because that's just where the land's at, right? And so we are seeing some people who want to move out that way and get obviously larger lots, a little bit more land with their property. And so great news for everyone out there in Aner. Year to date, prices up 17.5%, showing 240,000 median price for the entire year so far, which is awesome news for everyone out there in Aner. In Pawleys Island, they saw 11.6% decrease in prices and sales. I don't know why I keep confusing that. 11.6% decrease in sales last month, but the great news, 11.7% increase in prices. So if you notice the trend here, what's happening, right? Every single one's seeing a increase in price, and most of them are seeing a slight decline in sales. We might see that price soften up a little bit as a lagging indicator the next few months, but again, that came from the spike of lower interest rates, people jumping off the fence and making moves, right? And so great news there overall. Year-to-date prices in Pawleys and Litchfield up 4.1%, of 354,000 as a median price there, which is great news. We've sold a lot of large ones down in that area recently as well. Into Georgetown, closed sales dropped almost 30%. And Georgetown, so it's a big zip code, 29440. Right. So you got all types of properties here. That one you definitely want to dig into the actual neighborhood because it went from 30 down to 21, 30% drop, and it also shows a 33% decrease in prices. That went from 239 to 158. That's not fully accurate. There's just not enough data there to not be skewed by one or two or three different properties that may have caused that. But if you look at the year to date, sales down 4.3% and median price down 2.1%. So not bad. It went from 180,500 to 176,765. But that just has to do a lot with the dynamics. We got super high end stuff in Georgetown, right? Some low end smaller stuff, fixer uppers and things. So definitely reach out to us down there. We can easily help you get more data based on the overall neighborhood that you're in as well. And so the overall feel from that is that things are looking pretty good. We saw an extra spike, a part of adrenaline, I guess you say, from interest rates. And so that's something that's been super low. If you remember the past few weeks, we're looking back. I mean, I think last week showed us 3.57. We have some big time news right now in the interest rate world to kind of look at because what happened is we've seen a huge spike. And that's one thing that's important to kind of look at. And so rates last week, if you look at, were 3.57. Right now at 30-year fixed, 3.77. So significant jump there, increase in rates. And that's one thing we'll talk about. I was teaching my team and talking to my team about this. We get this question a lot about the Federal Reserve. They lowered interest rates this past week, right? But it does not directly affect mortgage rates at all. And so mortgage rates come from the bond market. And so although they are kind of linked a little bit, but it purely comes from investment, the short-term rates from the Fed don't directly affect the overall mortgage rates. And that's a big kind of misnomer we see a lot of times. We watch it consistently, and so it purely comes from the bond market. So that's something that's well, but right now 30-year fixed 3.77%, 15-year fixed 3.45%, a 30-year FHA loan. This is probably the one that's really the most interesting to me right now, 3.43%. Amazing opportunity to get in with super low down payments for people, especially first-time home buyers. You definitely want to take advantage of FHA financing. You can literally own for much cheaper than you can actually rent for. A jumbo loan right now, 30-year jumbo, 3.80%. A 5-year adjust rate mortgage right now, 3.45%. And so bottom line is money's still cheap, right? There's still opportunity to move up, get a better, property, basically get a very, very good mortgage rate and obviously keep low payments, or you can have more buying power. And so we talked about seeing a lot of investors, they're taking some of their 30-year fix and refining to 15 years with a much lower interest rate and saving a lot of money long term. And so we'll talk about that here in a few minutes, I guess.
All right. As far as everything else is concerned, we got more to get to in just a second. So what we want you to do is stick around, or you can call Blake if you want to get more information about what you just got done hearing. Blake Sloan, it's easy to get in touch with. It's Sloan Realty Group. Call 843-808-SOLD, 843-808-SOLD, or go online to blakesloan.com, blakesloan.com. Coming up in just a minute, we'll find out how many active home buyers are on Blake's website right now, looking for home, looking for your home. That's coming up next, plus your hot buyers alert in just a second.
Hey, Myrtle Beach, it's Gary LaBox, lead singer.
How much time are we looking?
When I'm Moving On won the award for ACM Song of the Year,
How much time?
the cordless folks who
How much time we got?
challenges that come with life's big changes. For many, that happens when it comes time to sell their home. If you're moving on,
A little bit more than 6 minutes.
6 minutes, okay.
Selling your home easy. It's
Thank you.
stress-free. An agent who's willing to let you out of the contract if you're not happy with their service. That's why in Myrtle Beach, I can tell you that Blake Sloan of Sloan Realty Group markets your home on a whole different level. Now listen, Blake is so confident in his ability to sell your home quickly and for more money that he guarantees to sell it or he'll buy it himself. If you're moving on, trust Blake to provide your family a stress-free home sale experience. Find Blake Sloan online at blakesloan.com, or you can call him at 843-808-SOLD. Start packing.
It is the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan. Coming up in just a minute, we'll find out how many active home buyers are here in this very area looking for your homes. Also, some great success stories, too. Right now, it's time for your Hot Buyers Alert. Blake and his team working with just a ridiculous amount of home buyers looking for homes in the Myrtle Beach area, anywhere in the range from $150,000 to $3.5 million. If you're in that range, call that same number, 843-808-SOLD. Talk to Blake and his team, and they will get your home sold. Now, every week we let you know how many people actively are looking on Blake's website for homes right here in the Myrtle Beach area. That number keeps going up and up and up. 54,357 is the number you just showed me a second ago, Blake. People who actively are looking for homes in the Myrtle Beach area and looking for homes all the time.
Yes.
They want your home.
Stalking it over and over and over. Like right now, we got Liana Clivet from Raleigh, North Carolina, and 754 visits to the site and 561 properties looked at. She's got 4 favorites right now. So the reality is, guess what? These are real people from all across really the globe. We get international buyers a lot. Why is that? We spend a massive amount of money online driving traffic. I literally outspend the average agent 100 to 1 from a marketing standpoint. That's the one question I get, from a lot of people that they want to sell their house. Like, what makes you different? Well, first of all, we outspend the average agent 100 to 1 from a marketing standpoint. It's a very big machine. We have a team of experts who are following up consistently, even right now as we speak. And so we have more buyers, right? Our job is to match up buyers and sellers. That's something that we're very, very, very good at. We create technology that will really reverse engineer the most likely buyer for your property based on our previous search pattern. And so like right now, Jack McClay from Claremont, New Hampshire is actually on the site. John Michael from Myrtle's Inlet, Cindy from Bayshore, New Hampshire, looks like, which is, Bayshore, New York was the other one. Sorry, just kidding. I got so many up right here. And John from Latham, New York. So you can see we get a lot from the Northeast. Why is that? Because that's where the money's at, and that's where everybody's coming down from out of town. So we target them. We literally geo-target people based on location, because guess what? We want to obviously target people moving in because that's how we're able to capture people move on. So the bottom line is, how do we help get your property sold? We outspend everyone else from a marketing standpoint. If you want to learn more, we're more than happy to show you the buyers as well. But the reality, just like Dave said, we need inventory, right? One of the lowest we've been tracking it since 2016. That's where you're seeing prices go. So take advantage of this fall market. Don't wait till December or once Thanksgiving happens to call us, because that's when everyone gets in that paralysis mode. And then your house shows much better than fall. We'll talk about that in a second. Success stories, right? Very, very proud of my team, kind of what we've done. I think we were 11-12 closed last week, which is awesome. Big shout out to this is a pretty cool story. Joe and Janet, they recently bought a house in Virginia. They need their house sold here in Myrtle Beach, which is actually in Airhead. They needed top dollar because they're moving to Virginia Obviously, you have to roll equity they have here to the equity they have there.
Sure.
The more they can get here, the better they're buying. The basically more money they have to put towards their house in Virginia. So they called us to get the job done. We came in, launched our global marketing blitz, professional photos. Check this out. Within 36 hours, we had massive traffic, had 5 offers on the table, ended up getting a price of $20,000 over asking price. So 36 hours from launch, we have multiple, obviously, showings, 5 offers, and we drove the price up over $20,000 above asking price. That's what the marketing machine will do for you. That's what I'm super proud of. This is one of my favorite ones here, obviously. Now, not only can they enjoy their house in Virginia, they can move on stress-free because you don't have to worry about keeping something up hundreds of miles away. And the coolest part is now they put maximum equity in their pocket. And so that's one thing that people don't realize. Like sometimes, you don't want to just sell to anybody, because the worst thing, worse than not selling sometimes is selling and leaving money on the table, right? So definitely that. Also a big shout out to Frank and Brian. They own a property in Conway for many years and decided it's time to sell. Been listening to us here on the radio for years as well. Knew we were the ones to call. We came in, launched global marketing blitz, professional photos, able to drive massive traffic, generate multiple offers on that property as well. Now they can move on without having to worry about that property more as well. So bottom line is that's 2 of the very, very many. If you want to learn more, reach out, call me. We'd love to teach you and kind of show you the back. We just show it how it works, and it blows people's minds overall at that standpoint. How much time we got?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. So one thing too, 4 reasons to sell this fall I think is super important. Number 1, buyer demand is still very, very strong. So a different type of buyer comes in. We see statistically a higher price buyer comes in the shoulder seasons. They're kind of a little bit less traffic and busyness, right? And they're buying. We have our team is literally running around this entire weekend showing a property. Some with 2 and 3 different groups of buyers in town. Number 2, there's less competition right now, right? Still very, very, very low, but ultimately it's not the crazy busyness of summer. That's the one thing that you're able to get in because there's less inventory. And so number 3, right? There's never a better time to move up. Rates are still low. There's still an opportunity if you are moving up to a different one, or at the same time, if you're going to sell and downsize, you can obviously sell when inventory is low as well. Number 4, it's time to move on, right? Time to move on in your life at this point. In many cases, you've been thinking about it. Take advantage of low inventory and low rates because you have the best of both worlds for sure in that regard. 1 minute left.
Yeah, got that minute.
So one thing too is important. I launched a fund where we're looking to straight up buy investments. We're gonna launch this soon. You guys have heard some of the big, like they call them iBuyers. Basically, we have an option now if you want to just sell your house. You don't want to have to fix it up. You don't want people tracking through it. We'll come in, make you an offer on day 1,
Right,
and buy that property. I have a fund that represents. We have lots and lots of cash that we're able to have purchase these properties. These investors want to purchase these properties. So if you want to learn more about that, reach out, call me. You can talk to me one-on-one about it. But we're buying houses any condition. Doesn't matter where it's at. At the same time, we do the full retail as well.
All right, sounds good. Call Blake today at his office, Sloan Realty Group. The phone number is easy. It's 843-808-SOLD, 843-808-SOLD, or go online to blakesloan.com, blakesloan.com. Get more information about all that you've been hearing over the last 30 minutes. Blake, good stuff. Do it again next week?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, sounds good. This has been the Expert Advantage Real Estate Show with Blake Sloan.
Hey, if you were in the market to make the most money for your home, Sean Hannity here with some important advice. Now, look, I'm an active investor. I have bought and sold a lot of properties in hot, cold, moderate markets. And one of the lessons I have learned is this: hire the agent that knows how to create